practices, going through education sessions to try to improve this great game of baseball. So really appreciate all you guys. I also want to recognize some of our sponsors who are supporting Steel Sports in a big way that are here. 3N2 Sports, Axe Bats and Bottom Sports, traveling teams who does all of the travel business for us across the country. And then also some of the partners that we have in the National Youth Baseball Championship. We've got All World here, TBL, Diamond Extreme, and probably a few others that we're working with as well. So thank you guys. Steel Sports, just to give you a little bit of a background on what we're doing, we're a social impact business, so we're trying to improve youth sports and give kids the very best youth sports experience. Our goal is to help kids reach their potential through sports, whether that be going on to play college baseball or college soccer, or going on and learning the great life lessons that come from sports like teamwork, work ethic, etc. And the way that we do that is through the Steel coaching systems. We put a lot of money and resources into developing a system for how we recruit, hire, train, educate, and evaluate coaches. We've got an incredible advisory board that includes Tommy Lasorda and Bobby Valentine. Thank you guys. We're just going to spend a short time doing a Q&A with them. I've got a couple questions that I'm going to kick it off with, but if you guys have questions, please feel free to chime in and ask a question. Also, after this, we'll have an opportunity if you want to get pictures with Tommy and Bobby, we can do that as well. So the first question I've got for both of you, feel free to start, whoever wants to, is growing up playing youth baseball, you guys both had incredible careers, both played in the big leagues. Who's the coach that had a big impact on your life, either as a player or just as a person?
Well, for me, it was my father. He tried every time to stop me from playing. He said, you have to do this, you have to do that. He said, baseball, no. But I was fortunate enough to play baseball. But there, when you're playing, you have so many people that you playing with and playing for, and people who have helped you, and people who have done so much for you. So I just can't point out one guy. A lot of guys helped me, a lot of people who were nice to me, and a lot of people helped me to get to the big leagues.
Well, when I was young, I had a coach, and it's about 44 years later, he's sitting to my right, and I can say that he had the greatest influence of anybody that I've ever been around, coach or non-coach. One of the greatest men, one of the greatest leaders of men, one of the greatest teachers, and I'm so happy to think that not only did in 1968 did I get off a plane, go to a hotel in Ogden, Utah, have a guy named Tommy Lasorda be my coach and manager of my rookie league team. But now in 2017, I can say that he's not only the greatest manager I've ever been around, but the greatest man I've ever been around.
So you both had incredible careers as players and as coaches, but now more of your time is being spent in youth baseball. Tommy through mentoring people and talking to leagues, Bobby through coaching teams across the country. I know you spent 60 days this summer with a 16-year-old travel team. So why so much investment now in the youth game versus spending your time in the professional game?
Well, before I answer that question, there's a guy sitting over there. I have to tell you about him. He pitched for me, won 20 games 1 year, and did such a tremendous job for me. And guys like that are the ones who put me in the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
And coincidentally, if you go back, the guy sitting over there is named Tommy John, and he had Tommy John surgery. Isn't that an amazing thing?
There was a name at Billy McConaughey, but it was too long.
Tommy John, yeah. So youth baseball, Tommy, why do you enjoy it so much, being around kids? What is it that you see?
I love to see youngsters playing baseball. I love to see youngsters enjoying life. I love to see youngsters get the opportunities that they have today, which is a lot better than I love to teach them. I love to teach them not only about how to play baseball, but how to live life. And I think that's just as important, maybe more important than baseball. For there's going to be more of their life out of baseball. So whatever they learn in baseball will play a big part in the way they live. So I enjoy it. I know when I managed the Dodgers in the minor leagues, 67 players that I managed went to the major leagues. And I was proud of those guys. I was proud of the way they played, the way they learned, and the way they wanted to go. So when I see a game, when I see these youngsters today, their energy and they love to be associated with the game of baseball, makes me feel good to see that. And I try to help them by speaking more Little League openings than anybody in this country. And I love it because I see the face of these youngsters who believe in themselves and they know that one day they would love to play in the major leagues.
Nice. And, yeah, and that's what we're all doing. We're watching young people grow, not learn how to hit the curve or throw the fastball, but learn how to win, lose, be successful, learn about defeat, learn about getting better, and understand when they start the game that there's something that can happen good at the end, and that is they can learn something. And anybody who's involved in youth sports knows that there are many teaching opportunities during a game, after a game, before a game, and great coaches take the opportunity every chance they have. And wait, he has one more thing to say too.
Well, the thing that I want to say is that, and this is what I have thought about so many times, that youngster playing in the little leagues, he doesn't realize how important it is that he's playing there. Number one, he's playing there because he has the athletic ability. But when he grows up, he's going to have to be doing something he loves to do for the rest of his life. He got to follow orders from the manager and the coaches. When he's growing up, he's going to have to follow orders from somebody. He got to be there on time. He learns that you got to be there on time. When he grows up, he's got to learn to be on time with whatever he undertakes in life. And then he has to get along with his players on the team. When he grows up, he's got to learn to get along with people. And a lot of people don't realize this, how important it is for those youngsters to be playing baseball. If they follow orders, if they get along with the players, if they do what they're supposed to do, that's what they're going to do the rest of their life.
Nice.
There's a lot of characteristics that I think people would point to that make a great coach. And I'm curious if you guys can just share one or two of those characteristics that you think are most important in a coach.
You know what Tommy could do? Tommy could demonstrate, he could motivate, and he could make sure that everyone around him understood that if you're passionately committed, as he was passionately committed, that good things happen at the end. I think all coaches have those abilities, that they can actually, show someone how to do it, tell someone how to do it, and then also motivate them to do it. And I know that he was able to do that. I know any coaches in the room could do that. And it's a struggle every day. There's no doubt to, instruct and inspire and instill the confidence that you're trying to instill.
It's very, very important. Now I'm with the Dodgers. I've been with the Dodgers now for 67 years. And what I like to do is go out and talk to our minor league players. Tell them what they're going to expect. Tell them how they're going to conduct themselves. How they're going to go around representing the organization in the highest class of dignity and character. Have them believe in themselves. You got to pay the price, and the price of success can only come through hard work and self-confidence. Self-confidence is the best thing that anybody can have in life. So to all of the youngsters who play, I want to be part of that because it gives me a good feeling to know that they listen, they learn. I remember when I was at an airport and the guy was coming down, he had a baby in his back, on the back of some kind of sack. And he sees me and he stops. And he says, Tommy, he says, you know something, you taught me how to shake hands properly. I said, I thought that was great. This is a guy, he's now married, he's got a kid, but he learned how to shake hands. It's very important when you shake hands. You give a guy a dead fish. So that's what it's all about. Making them better people, making them love what they're doing, and whatever they do in life, all going to go back to what they did in playing with the kids.
So we've got time for a couple questions from the group here. Does anybody have a question for Bobby or Tommy? Jordan.
For both of them, actually. How does the role of a baseball coach or manager change based on the level of which they're coaching? Pull this all the way back, just once you have the youth levels, but what's the difference between a baseball coach or manager at age 4, 10, 15, 18, 20 to 22, and then the bigs?
Did you hear that?
What do you say?
As kids get older, what are the different needs that a coach needs to bring to the table from 4 to 8 to 12, 16 to 20 years old?
What do they bring to the table?
What's the difference in those
Food.
coaches? Food!
I think that coaches, sometimes they don't realize how important they are, how much they mean to that youngster. The thing that I hate to see, and I speak to more little league openers than anybody in this country. And I see it, first I talk to the coaches, and I tell them what to do as far as don't holler at the players. If they make an error, tell them they make errors in the big leagues. He strikes out, he's downhearted, you tell him, hey, Babe Ruth was the greatest strikeout player in baseball. So it's a matter of making them feel good. It's a matter of building up their confidences. And that's what they have to do. When you are a coach of a little league team or further up or on up, the one thing you got to remember, you don't holler at the kids. You can't do that. You can't holler at the umpires. It's not good for that. But what they must learn is the spirit of the game of baseball. They have to learn how to get along with people, have to learn how to do things and the right way. And this is why it's so important for them to partake in little leagues so much as they grow older. And I speak to many little league openers. I speak to a lot of college baseball teams. I speak to many baseball teams. So the thing about it is that you're there to help the youngsters. Don't criticize them. Just pat them on the back. I saw a kid one time. I was walking across to go to a field, and I saw a kid sitting on the down in front of a tree, and he was crying. This young man, I think he was about 12 or 13 years old. And I looked over, I said, what's wrong, son? He said, I lost the game. I didn't do good. I said, what's that? There's nothing wrong with that. I said, how about those guys that lose games in the major leagues? You just lost a game right here. Don't worry about it. Go on, it's over. You'll win many more than you lose. So there was a youngster who needed at that time, needed to be lifted, to build up his confidences, to make him believe he's better than he was. So that's the job that the coaches have to do. If you're in there to win, forget about it. They win, it's great. They lose, it's bad. But they don't ever think that's more important than the character of the player.
Absolutely, and you know, just to address that again, don't think that because of the age or because of the size that you know what the player needs. Regardless of age, regardless of size, if you're a coach, you have to find out the need. You are just there to facilitate. They want you to help them to get where they want to go. That's your job. You got to figure it out. If if they're driving the car and they don't know how to put on the turn signal, you have to teach them how to do it. And just look at them, talk to them, understand their needs, and fulfill them. Don't fulfill your own needs, fulfill their needs.
Yeah, I think that's right in line with what Steel Sports teaches our coaches too. The term we use is right age, right stage. So you're not going to teach a 12-year-old like you are a 6-year-old, but also you're not going to teach every 12-year-old the same way. It depends on what stage of the game you're at. Anybody else? Right here.
I just have a statement to say. I'm Diane Baker, Shut Sports.
Hey, Dan.
I sponsor